So welcome back to their best laptop setups video. This is episode number 21. But as usual, we got to give a shout out to the winner of last episode, Sarouj. You're getting a $100 gift card to Amazon, so stay tuned for that. And today's winner will also get $100. The first setup comes from Juan Carlos. He's 21 years old. He's from Spain. He's probably still in school. But the cool thing about this setup is his vibe. He loves sneakers, you know, especially from Nike. There's a lot of Nike shoes in here. I'm seeing some classic Air Jordans. It's a cool vibe if you're into that, but he is keeping it clean with his MacBook Pro 2018 13-inch connected to an LG 27-inch 4K monitor. He has it connected via USB Type-C at the back of the display, so he has it in a vertical integration out of the way to keep his desk clean. He has two Logitech speakers. These are the Z207s. And then he's using a Magic keyboard and Magic trackpad, which also happen to be from Apple. And all of his stuff is on top of an IKEA desk. And then he has the Alex drawer units that you see in a ton of setups these days. Now he does have a cool LG 45-inch 4K TV on his wall. And it's kind of cool because like when he goes down to bed, he can like turn the TV and put it in a position that he can stare directly at it when he's lying on his back. But when he's back on his computer, he can use the mount to put it flush against the wall. I'm also really digging his cable management. Not only are they organized very well, they're also zip tied right under the desk, keeping them nice and sturdy. And I don't know how he managed to get all of his power cables to be white, because usually most power cables are black. Now the second setup comes from Tariq. He's from Jamaica, and I like the look of this. You know, it's a very simple idea, black and white, right? And that just offers a very clean look to the entire process. He does have a lot of stuff on his desk, and that's probably my biggest complaint. Like he has too many knickknacks on his table. Like there's an Amazon Echo, like I'd probably move that somewhere else in the room. You don't need it right on your desk. There's a calculator. Just use your computer for a calculator or put it in a drawer. You have like little knickknacks, and I'm cool with knickknacks, right, to personalize the setup. But when there's too much stuff going on the desk, it makes it feel a bit too cluttered. He does a good job of keeping it organized, but I think he can remove a few items and this space would look a lot cleaner. I do like the fact that he has two monitors beside each other. These are Dell 24-inch monitors. He probably uses these two mostly day to day, but then he has a bigger 27-inch monitor on the left-hand side, which I feel he probably uses for more content consumption. Now he does have two light bars on top of each monitor, which means he takes that ambient light very seriously. He's using a Dell Precision 5550 to power this entire setup. And then he has this wonderful pegboard on top to keep his other knickknacks organized. You can tell this person is very organized the way he has his stuff laid out. But yeah, biggest complaint, probably take some of those items off the desk, and I think this setup would look even better than it does now. The third setup comes from Martin. He's a 40-year-old graphic designer, and he said he's going for an organic theme, using a lot of earth elements, basically. And he's doing this by splashing the light from his RGB off the 3D sound panels he has in the back. It looks very brown, giving him those earth tones. Then he has different wallpapers from places around the world. You know, one with a waterfall, one with a lot of mountainous and greenery, and then even his speakers, which are the fine audio speakers, are using more of a bamboo color. I like the theme. I just feel like there's a lot of stuff on his desk. And I also was curious why he had an acrylic cover over his mouse and keyboard. And Martin does this so that no dust gets inside of his peripherals. Now this is smart, but it is also time consuming, because what you have to do is every time you use your computer, you have to take it on and off. And even your acrylic coverings, because they're clear, they're gonna get dusty, and you don't want it to look gross every time you look at your computer. Now personally, I think it's just a lot easier to clean your keyboard and mouse once every few months rather than having to go through this process every single day. Now interestingly, he is using an ROG Zephyrus GX 531 gaming laptop. He has it placed on a laptop arm, which is hanging really high off the desk all the way in the corner. I don't think he uses that display too often, and based on the time that he has on it right now, he probably just uses it as a clock. And he stares at a 32-inch Samsung M7 monitor. And then he has another monitor on the left-hand side that's in a portrait position. Now personally, I would have loved these devices to be closer to each other, because every time you have to look at the second monitor or the other monitor on the right-hand side, you gotta strain your body. You gotta turn your neck every single time. And if you're doing that constantly, day in, day out, that really can't be good for your posture. Now he is using a Keychron K1, and we have a Glorious O gaming mouse. I'm not gonna go through all of his audio equipment because trust me, there's a ton. Like he has a digital converter, he has an amplifier, he has a subwoofer, he has a stream sound so he can stream music. Like this guy is jacked with music devices. He obviously likes to game too, as there's an Xbox controller with a charging dock, and he even uses a Secret Labs gaming chair. The only really big downfall to the setup is because there's so much stuff on the table, you're just gonna have a lot of cables. And because Martin is using these thick shielded cables for better quality, it's really hard to control. So there's gonna be some chaos to this. Oh, fellow Canadian here, bud. Nick from Canada, from Ottawa. Hey there. Thanks for taking the time to submit your setup. And it's looking good because this is the first setup that I've seen utilize the Asus ROG Flow X13 paired with an XG Mobile eGPU, specifically the 150 watt RTX 3080, and it works very well. I've tested it here in the studio. You're at your desk, you get great performance from an RTX 3080 mobile eGPU, but then when you're on the go, you just take the laptop. Now, because this is last year's model, he is using the 5900 or 5980 HS from AMD, paired with 32 gigabytes of RAM and a GTX 1650, which is enough juice to game super lightly if you don't mind dropping the settings, but still have enough performance to pretty much do anything you want. He has this connected to a huge 34-inch Dell Ultra Sharp 60 Hertz display. And then he says he has a second laptop, which is a Dell laptop, which he tucked away for now. Now, there is a couple of things you can do to make this setup look better. I personally think his desk would look better with a desk pad or a mouse pad. It looks a bit too bare in the middle and would add a little bit more contrast. The other thing is take off those warning label tags on the cable. That's the first thing I noticed when I looked at your docked phone. And the other thing is your mic's boom pole. The cables are just hanging, dude. Like, get some zip ties, keep that cable nice and snug around the pole so it looks nice and clean, because that's a huge eyesore, and that's probably the first thing I notice when I walk in the room. And same with your cable management, like under the desk, tidy that up. All right there, bud? Take some time, tidy it up, it'll look a lot cleaner. And the last setup comes from Christian. He's from Denmark, and he mainly uses this setup to finish his schoolwork and assignments. He is using a very Apple-centric setup. He has his Apple MacBook Pro 13-inch from 2019. There is a iPad Pro 2021 on his desk. He has a HomePod Mini, Magic Keyboard, Magic Mouse, and for his headphones, he's using the Sony WH-1000X M3s. His speakers are also from Dell. They're the AY410 speakers. They're very tiny, but good enough to provide some sound. And then his monitor is a 27-inch Samsung monitor. He has a Satechi number pad, a Satechi monitor stand, a Satechi mouse pad, SteelSeries mouse pad, Redis wireless charger, a Yeelight screen light bar for some ambient lighting, Nanoleaf light strip to provide some RGB, and then he has a homemade MacBook stand and homemade headphone stand. It's a very small desk, but I do like the color and the patterns on it. I think it feels very warm and nice and cozy. And then you have a little bit of plant life on the left with a window there. It's a great little nook to be in when you need to do your assignments. So that's it. That wraps up this week's best laptop setups. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Make sure to head over to Twitter to vote for your favorite setup. Also, if you want to submit yours, the instructions will be in the description down below. Yeah, that's it. Like the video if you liked it, subscribe if you haven't already, and I'll see you guys in the next one.